So a little while ago, I made an explainer video on what is mediation. In order to do that, I got Ken on camera, gave his background, and then I wanted him to read a really boring definition of what mediation is, like this one. In essence, mediation is an informal problem-solving conversation facilitated by an experienced third party. But instead of giving me that, he gave me 16 incredibly beautiful definitions of what mediation is.
I believe that poetry is a higher form of truth.
And then he just casually added,
that's a start. I could go on for several hours.
So here we go, 16 definitions of mediation with Mediation Jedi, Ken Cloke.
Mediation is an operation that we perform on conflict in order to make it disappear. But if we make it go away without learning why it occurred, it will happen again.
So Ken's saying, don't do this to avoid. This is about engagement.
Mediation is actually the unifying principle. It is what unites people who are opposed to one another. It's the celebration of diversity.
Whoa, bet you didn't see that coming. Thought we were supposed to be fighting.
It is the precise point where yin meets and dissolves into yang.
Ken's going on a poetic roll here, so I'm going to leave you alone for a while.
Mediation is also a kind of the heart of heartlessness. It's light that is emerging from darkness. It is a kind of unspoken request for kindness that is hidden beneath every cruelty. It's the discovery of the other within the self and the self within the other. It's what is sacred at the heart of what is profane. It's the thaw that is waiting for the ice, or the ice that's waiting for the thaw. It is a kind of practice because it requires patience and openness and caring in the presence of suffering and anger and hostility and fear and grief and loss. So mediation is the way in, and it's also the way out. Mediation is moving from insult to insight, because every insult is also a confession.
Ooh, every insult is a confession. Arrow to the heart, Ken.
Conflict is a state of being stuck. So mediation becomes whatever it is that will help you become unstuck. But in order to use mediation to help you get unstuck, we have to discover what the origin of the conflict is. Not the stated origin, them. What was it about what they did that you felt unable to handle skillfully? So now we have a new definition of conflict and of mediation. Conflict is simply a lack of skill at being able to handle someone else's behavior. Well, if that's the case, what mediation consists of is figuring out a way of approaching that person's behavior skillfully. It is a way for us to create a kind of magic. And that is the title of my latest book, The Magic in Mediation. And by magic, I don't mean sleight of hand.
Sorry, Ken.
I mean something genuinely magical, in the sense that the people who are in the conflict cannot imagine the possibility of ending it. And I would say, out of the many thousands of mediations that I've done, almost never has anyone who is stuck in the conflict been able to imagine what it might be like for it to be over. So we can go back to the idea that mediation is an operation that is performed on conflict. And what that means is that it is conflict that determines the nature of mediation. Every mediation is different because every conflict is different. And what we have to do is match the mediation to the conflict.
And there you have it, 16 definitions of mediation from conflict revolutionary Ken Cloke. Now here's the kicker. If you want a nifty PDF with all 16 of those definitions on it, so you can print it out and admire it on your wall for the rest of eternity, send me a check for $99 to 128. Just kidding. There's a free download below. So we're new to YouTube and we would love your feedback. Please comment, subscribe, follow, tell all your friends, and let us know what you think. Thanks. And remember, the only way out is through.